Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Ameen ya rabbal alameen. So here we are with our session number 73, and inshallah I am going to start my session with the review, with a quick review of negation in Jumla Ismiya. So Bismillah Rahman Rahim. I hope you are all ready for that. So what is the criteria for ism of la nafiyatul lil jins? Is any la that is in any Jumla Ismiya going to be called la nafiyatul lil jins, or there are certain criteria that must be met for it to be called la nafiyatul lil jins? What is ism of la nafiyatul lil jins like in terms of status, type, and weight? So it is, so takrar is when la nafiya is just a regular la nafiya ghair amila that does not bring any change to jumla ismiya, right? In that case, your mubtada remains mubtada. It is rough in status. But when you see la nafiyatul lil jins, in this case, you see a la that is followed by an ism that is nasb in status and is light. It does not have a tanmeen, right? And another thing, in terms of type, it must be common. And then there cannot be a distance between la nafiyatul lil jins and its ism. They have to be right next to each other. Everyone with me so far? Hmm. Yes, and the fifth point was khabar sometimes can be mahzoof. Okay, it may not be there. So keep that in mind, inshallah. That will be really helpful for your future studies. The one type of ism of la nafiyatul lil jins that are going to be studied, that we are going to be studying is this plain la nafiyatul lil jins that is going to be nasb, common, light. Remember, remember, la nafiyatul lil jins can be before an idafa fragment and it can be before another construction as well. But in Quran, since that is the most, in 99.9% of cases, you are going to be seeing an ism that is nasb, light, and common after la nafiyatul lil jins. Therefore, at this stage of your studies, you are only going to be learning this one type of ism of la nafiyatul lil jins. It does have other types as well. It can have its ism as idafa fragment, where its ism is mudaf. It can have shabibul mudaf, since you have not been taught those terms. So I'm not, and those are not commonly used in Quran. So I'm not going to worry about them at this stage. Okay, everyone with me so far? So every time if somebody asks you what is required of an ism of la lafiyatul lil jins, these are the points that you're going to tell me, and in your test, and in, if I asked you during my sessions, I'm expecting you to know this at this stage. Okay, so when I talk about la nafiyatul lil jins, how is it different from the la nafiya ghair amila? Why do I need to use la nafiyatul lil jins? We were just towards the end of the session, in our session number 72, when we did touch upon that why how is it different from simple regular la nafiya, and it was added to your slides as well, and I have a slide right in front of you too, if that helps. Okay, so when absolutely is there, your what happens to the level of emphasis? Does it increase, or there's more emphasis with la nafiyatul lil jins? Yes or no? It's not the same, right? It's not the same as simple la, right? It is little different, right? You have more emphasis, and you are saying there is lil jins, the whole entire species. For example, let me explain it to you by using this analogy, and I hope this will work, inshallah, and this will solidify your concept of la nafiyatul lil jins. When I say here, let me see, Let's quickly type it here. Bismillah. What kind of law is this? Let me. Question. Let me just enlarge it for you all. 200. Okay. What kind of law is this one? This law. Is it a regular law or la nafiyatul lil jins? Jins, right? Because ism after it is common, it is nasbin status, it is light. By default, what should be your word in terms of weight? Should it be heavy or light? It should be heavy. By default, your ism should be heavy, right? Keep that in mind too. So when I make this statement, do you know what it means? Translate this for me. Let me ask you, and then I think when I give you my translation, that will help you a little more. La rajula qaimun. Not a very, qaimun means standing. Okay. No man is standing absolutely. Okay, so there is absolutely no man standing, right? Or, okay, or you can, there is absolutely no man standing, and that means you are taking into consideration the entire species of man there. Does it make sense or no? You know, you are talking about the entire crowd, all the men in it. When you say that, is it different from a man is not standing versus not a single man is standing? Do you see a difference between these two statements? Everyone, please, if you want me to repeat it in Urdu, I will be all ready for that, because I want you to take this concept and understand this concept very clearly, because Suratul Baqarah starts with La Raiba Fi. And if you have doubt about this concept, it's going to be hard, right? So is it clear? Not a single doubt in it. You are taking into consideration each and every kind of doubt, because there are different kinds of doubts. Sometimes people doubt other people's intentions. Some people have doubts about their aqidah. Some people have doubts about other people. They're always suspicious of other people. They are different kinds of paranoias. Doubts can be of various different types. Okay, so when we talk about la raiba fi, we are taking into consideration each and every kind of doubt. It's not just this emphasis. We are learning that there is possibility of no doubt whatsoever in this book. Everyone with me so far? My dear sisters, I do not see you go back to recordings very often. And because that views tell me, how many times people have, gone over the recording again and again. Okay. And it does not matter to me. It is not for the number of views that we record our sessions, to be honest. Okay. Yes, it may give some comfort to the ego sometimes, yes, Yes, it matters. I'm not going to be, denying that. I'm not denying that. Yes, but when you go on, when you revise everything, honestly, there's a difference between a student who takes some time with their revision versus the one who does not revise their material provided to them. Okay, so please make sure to go over recordings, and if there is any concept that is not clear, go back and see what did we learn about this kind of law, because this is now a different understanding. Okay, always remember, this is a different, now when I this law is taking into consideration, this law here, when I'm talking about this man, is taking into consideration about each and every person in the crowd, each and every man in the crowd. Not a single man is standing, not a single doubt is there in Quran, not a single kind of compulsion is tolerable in religion. La ikraha fid din. I hope this is clear. So now, does it bring any change to our Jumla Ismiya when La Nafiyatul Lil Jins is there, my dear sisters? Does it happen? Does it, make any change? Or it is La Ghair Amila? No, no, no. In terms of Arab, does it change Arab? Yes, right? Not only brings more emphasis, my dear sisters, right? It does bring more emphasis, my dear sisters. Does it bring any change to Jumla Ismiya? If such question is asked, my intention is, do you know what does it do to the Arab of my sentence? Since I'm your grammar teacher, I will be very concerned not only about the understanding of the concept, that tafsir, but also the grammar part of it as well. Okay, so you are going to tell me, yes, my ism, my mubtada is no more marfu status. Now my mubtada is nasbin status. It has become light. It has become not flexible. It has to be like that, because it is totally non-flexible. It's not going to change. It made it definitely made a change, and now mubtada is going to be called, what is the term we use? Yes, absolutely. Now we are going to call ismula, or qabrula is, qaimun is going to be khabrula, rajula is going to be ismula, right? Khabar remains unchanged, but ism is totally, different from what we expect to see in mubtada. Everyone understood this? Everyone with me so far? I see Sister Azra, Zarina, Rubin, Sister Zohra actively participating, and I don't want to miss Sister Ruxana. Is there Sister Sabira into it, on top of everything? Alhamdulillah, Sister Faiza. Okay, barakallah fi. Now let's look at this one, this hadith. Okay, innahu la nabiyya ba'di. Who is going to attempt this part? Innahu. What are we going to call this? And I don't want to spend all my time like I've been doing with every session, that I spend more time on reviews and I'm not teaching much. But that's okay too, I think. That pace works for. So, innahu. Harf nasb wa ismuha. Harf nasb wa ismuha. Right? Harf nasb wa ismuha. So, what is this la? Is it la nafiya or la nafiya to lil jins? Right? Because ism after it is common. Ism is common, it is light, it is nasb status. Everyone with me so far? Hmm? Ba'adi. What are we going to label ba'adi? And what is that? Ba'adi. Idafa, zarf, both are correct answers. So idafa, zarf idafa in Jumla Ismiya is going to be labeled as mutalik bil khabar. Very well done. Very well done. Now, translate this sentence for me. There is absolutely no prophet. Indeed, there is absolutely no prophet after me. Not a single person can claim prophethood. We are talking about not a single person can. We are taking into account the entire human species after Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam himself said this. Hmm? Everyone understood this or no? Alhamdulillah. So we are not just telling you about Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is not just talking about himself, but he took into account of everyone by using la nafiyatul lil jins, that there cannot be no single person who can claim prophethood after me. La ummata ba'dakum wa la ummata. Now tell me what is happening here. At and this the next sentence, the entire sentence is ma'tuf. La nafiyatul lil jins ismu la khabrula, or you can call it mutalib al khabar, whichever way works for us. Okay. Hmm? Because we call our zarfs as mutalik bil khabar. Okay, everyone with me so far? No ummah. This was the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the last ummah. Okay, so how important it is for us to, you know, act in the manner we're supposed to act, right? So I hope this was clear, and we don't need to spend more time on that. So let's see Suratul Adiyat now. I will skip the first part, first few verses. Let's just, actually, let me keep it to the end. Okay, let's just go over. Then we still have good amount of time, and let me teach you another concept today. So, how many tools of negation have we gone over so far? One, two, three. How many? For Jumla Ismiya, tools of negation for Jumla Ismiya. How many we have done? We are done. Like we have understood them. La nafia, la nafia to lil jins. Two we have gone over. Okay, so now let's see the what I have for you. Ma nafia. Sometimes you will have ma as the particle of negation, but before I go over ma, I am going to teach you something about laysa. Okay, have you ever seen this word laysa in Quran? Type one if you have. Okay, everyone has seen. Very good. So let's learn about it. So laysa, when we were doing our Jumla Ismiya, if I give you this word, ana muslimun, translate this for me. Ana muslimun. I am a Muslim, right? I am a Muslim. But did you notice when you were doing I am a Muslim, you said I, and if I do the exact word to word, I Muslim, did you notice that there was no am there? Do you all notice that? Do you ever pay attention to that? मैं मुसलमान, who is not there? मैं मुसलमान हूँ is a right translation. I am a Muslim. That who and am is not there in Arabic. It is implied. We just figure it out and just put who, ha, the. No, the is there, but who, hai, we add, and is, am, we add, right? But when it comes to is not, are not, we do have Arabic word for that. Everyone understood this? Is not or are not is there in Arabic. For example, try to give me the translation for this, based for those of you who know some translation, how will you translate lastu musliman? I'm not a Muslim. Hmm? You know, this am not, this lastu is doing the job of, this means am not. I am not. I am not is coming from this lastu. What is this lastu looking like when it is ending with tas dhamma? Have we done anything like that? Lastu, ta dhamma, not laysat. If it was laysat, then it was here. But this one is lastu, ta dhamma. Laysat would be here laysat. Lastu is I. Tadama is for when your doer is I. Nasartu. Isn't it like Nasartu, my dear sisters? Hmm? It is like Anna. Hmm? Everyone with me? You know, in English, this is not, are not, are called helping verbs. What are they called? Helping verbs. And why am I calling them verbs? What is something that I learned about fail? Who can tell me what is a word that is described to be fail must have? What should a word must have? In Arabic, it must have a file. Hmm? Yes, helping verbs. Hmm. Tense. It must be time bound. So can I change the tense of is not and are not? Can I change? Can I change? What is the different form, a past tense form of that? Give me the past tense form of that. Was not, were not, right? Was not, were not. Hmm? So is not and are not is like a helping verb, because when I have to make a sense, I eating, I have to tell someone that I'm doing this job of eating right now. What am I going to add here? If I'm doing it right now, what should I write here? And if I have to tell them that I was doing that in yesterday, what should I write here? So what did am and was do? What did it do for eating? Didn't they help? Didn't they help? Hmm? Right? To make sense, when I added am eating, were eating, was eating, it helped to complete the meaning, right? And it has a tense, right? So fail, you told me fail is time bound, right? Fail has pronoun, fail has time, fail has pronoun. One word you left. I'm not sure if somebody has written and I have skipped it. Um, what is the third thing your fail must have, or verb like focus on fail first? No, detail is never must. You can have a complete sense without a detail. You don't have to have detail for everything. Like nama or nimtu, I slept. I don't have to, give any details. Oh, I slept. Right? I don't have to have any give you any information, more information about it. Oh, you didn't show up for the class. Oh, I slept. It makes complete sense. So, but slept. What did I do there? Remember, go back to your sessions, okay? Go back to your fail from the very beginning. Very beginning. It must have time, pronoun, and action, okay? It must have an action. Without action, it is not complete. Will it be complete without action? What do you think? No, it's not complete without action. So when you have a time, when you have a pronoun, and you don't have action, Will your fail be tam? Will it be complete? No, right? It is incomplete. So incomplete in Arabic is called naqis. What is it called? Naqis. Everyone write it so that you know what naqis is. When your fail is not giving you an action, when it has a time, yes, it has a time, and it has a pronoun, but it does not have an action, it is called naqis. Okay, there is deficiency, and that deficiency is deficiency of a clear action. A clear action. When I have put am, was, I have an action after it, right? I am eating, I am sleeping, I am, um, you know, um, studying, but all those things had to have, there was some kind of an action. But just think about it in Arabic. In Arabic, if your fail has time and a pronoun, time and a pronoun, but no action, your fail is going to be called naqis. Will you all remember this for me? So let me tell you now. Let me clear all my drawings and let me tell you about Laysa that we are going to study today. So your Laysa means he is not. He is not. So he is not. Does it have a pronoun? My dear sisters, wake up. Does it have a time attached to it? Does it have a tense attached to it? Right? Tense attached to it means ये एक ऐसा लफ्ज है जिसको आप मादी की गर्दान बना सकते हैं, मुदारे, इसको मुदारे, इसका माना हो सकता है, यानी कि जो इज है आप उसको पास्ट में भी कर सकती हैं, जैसे कि इज वॉज हो जाता है, इसका पास्ट टेंस वर्जन मौजूद है, ठीक है ना? इसके पास टेंस है का मतलब ये होता है कि ये प्रेजेंट टेंस में भी हो सकता है, या फ्यूचर टेंस में भी हो सकता है, ठीक है? और ये पास्ट टेंस में भी हो सकता है। इसके लिए इसके पास ये एबिलिटी है, इट हैज अ पावर टू have all three forms of tense. Okay, it has a time attached to it. It's a time bound goal. I hope this is clear. So Laysa means he is not. Does it have an action? Okay, so everyone understood this. So is it your fail tam or fail naqis? It is your fail naqis. Okay, everyone please remember this, and let's go back and see what I have for you. Okay, so here I have the whole conjugation before you. Do you notice one thing? Laysa, laysa, laysu, laysat, laysata, lasna, lasta, lastuma, lastum, lasti, lastuma, lastunna, lastu, lasna. So this laysa does not have anything after it. Any word that does not that just has the three root letters, but nothing after it has which pronoun built in it. What do we assume its pronoun? Huwa. Barakallahu fi. When we have alif at the end after the third root letter, remember alif at the end after the third root letter. If alif is not after the third root letter, it cannot be aliful isnain. It is only aliful isnain when it is after the third root letter. Remember that, my dear sisters. So this is there too. Laysu, after the third root letter, you see a waw. What pronoun? Hum. Laysat, tasakun. What pronoun? And we will talk about later, I know you now are very well versed with, hidden, mustatir, bariz, everything is clear. So we'll just, take it real quick here. Laysata, laysata. They two females, right? They two females are not, right? They two females are being talked about because ta is for feminine. This same ta got a fatha here because of iltaqa'i sakinain rule, and alif, because aliful isnain has no haraka, so one of has to be, because of the two sakins when merged, the first one has to get a haraka because alif was following it, therefore ta gets fatha. Lasna. Do you see a pronoun? Do you see a pronoun, my dear sisters? Yes, it nunun niswa, and this is again a pronoun, lasta, taul file, lastuma, again taul file, ma is telling you dual, lastum, taul file, meme is telling you, talking about you all masculine, mimul jama, lasti, taul file again, for you female, lastuma, again taul file, which is the doer, after coming after the third root letter, ma is for jama, ma is for tasniya, Maut tasniya, we learnt about it. Lastunna, again, taul file, noon mushaddada, only to indicate feminine, plural, feminine, plural. This noon is non noonun niswa. This noon is noonul jama. It is just a noon for feminine. This one without mushad, that is not mushaddad, is noonun niswa. This noon is li jama'in inath. Lastu, again taul file, telling me that the doer or the pronoun is ana. Lasna, na fa'ilin, right? Everyone with me so far. What did I give you the translation? In translation, what did I teach you? Is not, right? But what conjugation do you see? This is the conjugation for which tense, right? It is for madin, right? That's how Lisa works. Lisa is very unique. Some people are, like that. They have their own ways to work, and they just don't follow. They are beyond rules and regulations. Do you ever see such people in your life? Yes, there are many. There are many. They're very different. There are four people, engineers, doctors, and then there's one person in the house that decides to become an imam of masjid, and that happens, right, in life, and that happens with language too. Okay, so its conjugation is like a past tense. Its conjugation works like conjugation of a past tense, but its meaning is always going to be in present tense. Is this understood? And you have the meaning right in front of you on screen. Okay. Everyone understood so far? Okay, let's see. So now comes your questions, and let's see. It is naqis because it's an incomplete fail. Why is it naqis, my dear sisters? Did I tell you why is it naqis? No action. It is jamid. It is frozen. It cannot do, because it does not have a present tense form or a command form. So that is why it is going to be fail jamid. So if that answers your question, it does not have a present tense form, and it also does not have a command form. Okay, you cannot make a fail amr from it. Okay, always remember, it conjugates like any fail. Did you notice that? Did it fulfill the same whatever I'm telling? I have it on this written on the slide. Did I not show it to you? Right, exactly. Everyone with me so far? It conjugates like any fail. Now, but in the past form, in the past tense form, its conjugation is going to be in the past tense form. However, the meaning is in the present tense form. Okay, as I told you, it's very unique. So the last point that I want you to know is, just like your fail, when it has a pronoun huwa and hiya, can have an outside doer, Laysa can also have an ism after it in a marfu status. Should I repeat myself, or is this clear? Repeat? Okay. Just like your Nasara or Nasarat can have an ism marfu after it, similarly, Laysa, this Laysa guy, and Laysat can also have an ism marfu after it. And that ism that is after it cancels the pronoun in Laysa and Laysat. It can have an ism after it. When you learn about an ism after any fail, what is the status for that ism to fire the pronoun? For it to fire the pronoun, what should be the status of an ism? Barakallahu feek, my dear sisters. It has to be rough in status, otherwise it's not firing the pronoun within the fail. Similarly, the same principle works for Laysa. The very same principle is going to work for Laysa, my dear sisters. Okay. So now let's see here. Laysa alaykum junahun. Laysa alaykum junahun. Do we see Laysa? And what am I going to call Laysa? How it is Madin? Yes. Is it? How is it going to be translated? Hold your horses, Sister Faiza. Yes, it is not, right? Now, it is not. It is your translation, right? So now, my dear sisters, or everyone, when I have Laysa or Laysat, what should I look after it? When I see Nasara, Nasarat outside ism, do we see, do you have one? Do you have one? Do you have one? Outside ism, do you have outside ism? Junahun. My dear sisters, all those fail that you learned, Nasara, Nasarat, what did they have in it? They had time, they had pronoun, and they had action. Does Laysa have an action? Can I call Junahun doer when it does not, is not doing a job of a doer? When it does not have an action. It does not have an action, right? Everyone with me so far. Laysa has a pronoun, Laysa has a tense, but Laysa does not have an action. So when it does not have an action, when it's not doing any action, so the ism that comes after Laysa is not going to be called doer. It's going to be called ismu Laysa. Does ismu Laysa work for you girls? If I call it ismu Laysa, does it make sense? And if I ask you in future, my dear sisters, because I am in habit of asking questions and I don't stop. And that's why my reviews take most of my time, and then I'm left with 10 or 15 minutes of teaching a new concept, and I'm so behind. So remember that. Yes, Alhamdulillah. So, my dear sisters, always remember, if you take your steps, if you learn everything step by step, if today's class you go back and listen to your recording, I assure you, my dear sisters, you will get it. And the thing is, you have to take it step by step. Don't start typing answers. Oh, yeah, just with, yes, that is at most, for a student of Quran and for a student of knowledge, generally, patience, without patience, we cannot, go move forward, right? So again, you are going to think. I want, I know each and every one of you will be able to tell me after 4 sessions from now, this is Ismu Laysa, this is Khabru Laysa, this is that, or this is Mutalik bil Khabar. But most of you may forget that the whole concept, how we got to that. I want my students to be very clear when they are teaching to somebody else that, this is how we started and this is how we reached to this point. And why are we labeling this like this? This was the whole science behind it. So when I am now calling it Ismu Laysa, am I labeling it as a Jumla Ismiya or Jumla Failure? Where did we learn Ismu something? Jumla Ismiya, right? Just recently I told you, call your ism of inna annaka anna layta la la lakinna or la nafiyatul lil jins as ismu la or in ismu inna, right? And this is something that we'll call things in jumla ismi, right? But why are we calling junahun as junahun? The reason behind it is that laysa is going to be the part of Jumla Ismiya. Now this Jumla is not going to be, despite Laysa being a fail, it's not going to be treated as a fail. Right? This is going to be a particle, this is going to be a fail that is there to negate your jumla ismiya. You are just going to treat it as jumla ismiya. Entirely, you are going to just take it as jumla ismiya. So alaykum. Keeping this information in mind, what is alaykum, my dear sisters? Jar majroor mutaliq bil khabar. Very well done. Everyone understood this so far. Huh? Laysa minni. Laysa. You are going to call it fail naqis. Fail naqis. But damir mustatir. Right? Minni. What are we going to call minni? He is not from me, right? He is not from me. And minni, no, minni is me, min plus your ya mutakallim. So it is jar wal majroor mutaliq bil khabar. Jar wal majroor minni, right? Min plus ni. Minni. It's min plus ya only, ya mutakallim. And there is nunul wakaya for some reason. Make sense, my dear sisters? Laysa, fail naqis, right? Fail naqis. And since it has a pronoun huwa, should I look for ismu laysa? My dear sisters? Yes, I should, right? Do you see one? Can there be any ismu laysa here? Make a guess. Now the board is irregular, so it's going to be a difficult one. What can be ismu laysa? Huda, right? Hudahum, right? Hudahum can be ismu laysa. There is no guidance. Their guidance is not your responsibility. Alayka. Alayka is a very interesting word. Not a difficult word, but a very interesting word in Quran. So how will we label it? This is Huda is going to be Ismu Laysa. I'm not going to call it outside doer, because if I call it outside doer, that means my grammar is very weak. It applies to me because I take a mic and I lecture you for 1 hour. So if I call it, something like file, then there's a problem. I should do something else. What should I label alayka? Jar wal majroor mutaliq bil khabar. Easy. Again, laysa lakum bihi ilmun. You have no knowledge about it. So laysa came. I will look for ismu laysa. Ismu laysa is ilmun. Ilmun is like ismu laysa. Lakum is going to be jar wal majroor mutaliq bil khabar. Bihi is again going to be jar wal majroor mutaliq bil khabar. Okay. Laysa zakaru. What is az-zakaru? Ismu laysa kal unsa. Kal unsa. Mutaliq bil khabar. This one was easy. A boy is not like a girl. Okay. So this is this clear so far? Okay. So let's see one more time. It is naqis, incomplete fail. Why is it incomplete? You have to tell the reason. If you don't if you don't know the reason, my dear sisters, you did not get the concept. Okay. Why am I going to call it naqis? Because it has no action. It is jamid because it does not have any present tense form or a command form. It conjugates like a fail. That is true. In its hiya and huwa form, it can have an ism marfu after it, and that ism will not be called file. Why is it not going to be called file? One more time. Because laysa has no action, and you have a doer for an action. You don't have doer for doing nothing, right? Because there is no action with laysa. And with laysa, what kind of a sentence we have? Jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya? Though laysa itself is a fi'l. Ismiya. Laysa is used to negate jumla ismiya. Laysa is used to negate jumla ismiya. It conjugates like what? Does it conjugate like past tense or a present tense? It conjugates like a past tense, right? इसकी गर्दान जो होती है वो मुदारे की तरह नहीं होती है, मादी की तरह होती है. It is very special, in fact, right? I'm glad that this is so far clear. Okay. Should I go to the next particle of negation, which is in nafiya? It's easy. So the in nafiya that I'm going to teach you today is, it has, I have been telling you, my dear sisters, the meaning of in is similar to what? Which particle of negation does it have similarity with in terms of meaning? In terms of meaning, ma is like that, right? Ma, in translation, you will see ma, it translates like ma. It has a connotation just like ma. Remember that, okay? Okay. Now I have a sentence from a verse from part of the verse from Surah Al-An'am, verse number 25. I give you in hadha illa asatirul awwaleen. So what are we seeing here? What I want you to do is, the in that is mainly seen in Quran is in ghair amila, my dear sisters. Okay, it will not going to be changing Arab of the sentence. Ghair amila, no change to the Arab. Everything stays the way it should be. In, I'm teaching you in Jumla Ismiya. In Jumla Ismiya, what do you have? You have Mubtada. And you have Khabar. Okay. Okay. And before so Mubtada and Khabar, and we have to go back to Laysa, just so that I have to tell you one more thing about Laysa that I forgot to tell you. So I'm going to take you back to Laysa as well. So, but let's just quickly do this in. So, what will you label Haza? It's going to be your Mubtada. Illa is harf. Will it have any Arab like Mubtada, Khabar, Mutaliq bil Khabar? Because it's a harf. Illa is harf istisna. So it is la mahalla lahu min al-i'rab, right? It is la mahalla. So forget about it. Forget about in. Just call it in nafiya. Haza, call it mubtada. Asatirul awwaleen. What is this doing here? Asatirul awwaleen. It's an idafa and it's your khabar. What kind of khabar you have? Do you have a jumla or you have a mufradism? Very well done. Very well done. Again, in hiya illa hayatuna dunya. In hiya illa. Forget, when you do these verses, when you see in and illa, just think that it does not exist there. And then start doing your Arab, and it inshallah will be super easy piece of cake, because you will just have to label Jumla Ismiya then. Here is going to be your Mubtada, hayatuna is going to be your khabar. What kind of khabar you have? Mufrad ism or jumla? Is it a jumla? Hayatuna dunya. Hayatuna dunya. What's the relationship between these two? Absolutely, absolutely, my dear sister. Jazakallah khair for reminding me, Aisha. So in hiya is going to be mubtada. Hayatuna. Hayatuna and dunya, connect them together. Hayatuna is an idafa. Hayat is a feminine word. Hayat is proper because of na is proper. Hayat is rough in status. Hayat is singular. Dunya is singular, dunya is proper, dunya is feminine because of this alif, and it is not going to show me its status because this alif cannot take fatha dhamma kasra, but I will assume it to be dhamma. Therefore, they are making al mawsuf was sifa. And this is a mufridism, my dear sisters. Is this clear, my dear sisters? This is not a jumla. Hayatuna dunya are worldly life. Is it a complete sentence? Does it make complete sense? No, it does not. So this is a fragment. And when you have a fragment as your khabar, you call it mufridism. You don't call it jumla. In hiya illa fitnatuka. Hiya again is going to be your, in is nafiya. Hiya is going to be your mubtada. Illa is harf istasna. Again, both haruf. La mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. You don't call them mubtada, khabar, fa'il, maf'ul, nothing. You are just going to call la mahalla lahu min al-i'rab because they are haruf. Fitnatuka. Fitnatuka. What is the construction here? Is it a one word or two words? This is khabar. This is an idafa. And there are two words forming an idafa, ka, which is a pronoun, making an idafa. And my khabar here is mufridism. In hiya illa asma'un. In nafiya, har, it is ghair amila as well because it did not change the i'rab of my sentence, which is jumla ismiya. Hiya is mubtada, illa is harf istathna, asma'un is going to be my khabar. In hum illa yazunnun. In, again, I'm not focusing on wow. I'm just going to focus on in nafiya. Ghair amila, hum is going to be my mubtada, illa is going to be my harf istasna. Yazunnun is going to be my khabar, and my khabar here is jumla, right? Jumla fi'liya is my khabar. So now when I have jumla as my khabar, what should I call it? Because this was rough in status, 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 and this is yazunnun. In, I'm going to call it fi mahalli raf'in. Fi mahalli raf'in, right? In place of ra. In hadha illa malakun kareem. Hadha again is going to be my mubtada. Malakun is going to be my khabar. Kareemun, malakun kareemun is making mawsoof was sifa. And this is my khabar. And my khabar is not a jumla, it's a mufradism. I hope this is clear to everyone. Alhamdulillah, everyone is with me. So in is, so did it bring any change to the i'rab of your sentence? This in, this particular in? It did not do anything. So it did not do anything. It has no action. So this is, this in is does not, it is a different type of in that does, there is another type of in as well, but in Quran this in is the only in that I have seen so far. And I don't, I'm not an expert, but you will, 99.9% of cases, I can assure you, 99.99% of cases in Quran you will see this in only. Everyone with me so far? So come back to laysa. So laysa, I have told you that laysa alaykum junahun, you found the ismu laysa, you found the mutalik bil khabar. नहीं, उर्दू में इनका मतलब होता है नहीं, just like माँ का मतलब नहीं होता है. Similarly, in is going to be nahi as well. Okay? Okay, let's just go to Surah Al-Baqarah and see this beautiful words from Surah Al-Baqarah and see how much of Laysa we understood. So we spoke about, one second, real quick, because this is something that was the very, very important information that I need to deliver today when I'm teaching you Laysa. Okay. So this is verse number 177 from Surah Al-Baqarah. Okay. Do you know this al-birra? Can you see this al-birra? Right? You see this al-birra? Hmm? Important thing that you need to learn here is, all along I've been teaching you the khabar of Jumla Ismiya is what in status. Either it is rafin status or fi mahalli rafin, right? Either rafin status or fi mahalli rafin. When it comes to laysa, the khabar is nasbin status. Khabar is nasbin status. What do you need to know? In case of a jumla that is negated by laysa, khabar is nasbin status. Yes, it is. Yes, it is how Laysa works. And there's another sisters of Laysa as well. There are many, brothers and sisters of Laysa that you will learn, and they will have their khabar as ism, that is nasbin status. Okay, so Laysa has the khabar. The khabar of Laysa is nasbin status. Everyone with me so far? Everyone understood this, my dear sisters? Okay. So when I told you that khabar of Laysa is nasbin status, so what do you think about al-birra here? It is the khabar of Laysa. It is the khabar of Laysa because birra is nasbin status. After coming after Laysa, if you see an ism that is nasbin status, it's going to be khabru Laysa. Okay. Another example, let me show you. So we all need to, what should I say? Let me, I think it's better I keep my mouth closed for a minute. Let just bear with me, my dear sisters, and we will see more examples. Okay. Okay. So now let's just quickly go over this one before we end our session because we have 1 minute only. Okay. Laysatin nasara. What do you think? Laysat. This was actually what? What kind of a sentence we are seeing here? If I show you, this is an example. This is your sentence. This whole this is a sentence. Laysatin nasara ala shay'in. What kind of a sentence? It's a jumla ismiya, right? Laysat is going to be your fail naqis, right? Fail naqis. Because of iltaqai sakinain, this kasra is there. So after laysat, should we look for ismu laysa or no? Yes. Do you see ismu laysa here? What can be ismu laysa? Nasara, very well done. Ala shay'in. What are you going to label ala shay'in? Mutalik bil khabar. Okay. Again, another sentence. Laysatil yahudu ala shay'in. What are we going to label it as? Is it jumla ismiya, jumla fi'liya? Number one, same, everything is the same, right? Yahudu is, can show you its status by the presence of dhamma. Therefore, it is ismu laysa ala shay'in is going to be mutalik bil khabar. Now, let's go back and let me show you something else. Laysu sawa'an. Laysu sawa'an. So now tell me, laysu, what kind of a sentence? Very well done. So here I see Azra is saying this is jumla ismiya. Who is ismu laysa here? Give me ismu laysa, and today that sister is going to get a gift from me. Sister Faiza, you are not going to get any gift, and next 10 years, don't dare ask me for any gift, okay? Sister Zarina, I'm going to send you your gift. Please send me your address after class, inshallah. And I'm going to definitely, because I keep my promises, inshallah. Okay, barakallahu feek. Here we go. This is what a true student of Quran is like. Look, all you sisters, learn from her. Okay, so wow is your Ismu Laysa. Okay, Ismu Laysa is here. You are going to call wow your Ismu Laysa, my dear sisters. Right? Wow is going to be your Ismu Laysa. Right? Anytime, just like your when I give you sorry una, I always yell at you and I ask you who is the doer, and you tell me wow is the doer, right? Just like that, I'm going to ask you kazalik, kazalik, just like that. Laysu, who is the doer? Who is I cannot call it doer anymore. I'm going to ask you who is the Ismu Laysa, and you are going to tell me the same wow is going to be the Ismu Laysa. What's the status of this wow, my dear sister? Sister Zora, I want you to answer. The status of this wow is going to be Ismu Laysa. Ismu Laysa is going to be Rafin status. It's going to be Rafin status, right? Khabru Laysa now comes after I figured out Ismu Laysa, Laysa and Ismu Laysa. Now I'm going to look for Khabru Laysa or Mutalik bil Khabar. Do I have any Khabar here? What did I tell you? Khabru Laysa is Nasbin status. And this here is, they are not the same. They are not the same. Which is the attached pronoun? Yes, wow is an Sawa'an.
No, Laysa. Laysu.
Laysu. This is attached to Laysu. This is attached to Laysa. But this attached pronoun is a pronoun that is Ismu Laysa. Just like Nasaru. Wow is attached to the word. It is Damir Muttasil, but it is fa'il. Wawil Jama'a is fa'il there. Here, Wawil Jama'a is going to be called Ismu Laysa because it does, I cannot call it fa'il because does Laysa have an action? It does not have an action. So I cannot call it fa'il because fa'il has to do some action, my dear sisters. Keep that in mind. Okay. So I think we already are past our time. As we always are more than 2-3 minutes, we are up our time. So this is my habit, unfortunately, but inshallah I will end the session here, and I will be doing more practice of Ismu Laysa and Khabru Laysa with you, and I will inshallah, you will get your slides and everything, and you go over your slides and go back. If there is anything that you did not understand, send your messages to Sister she's always forwarding me all your messages, and inshallah we'll review that. And today you also have your test, right? That will open later today, inshallah. So Sawa'in, yes, Sawa'an is Khabru Laysa. Yes, as we have learned that Khabru Laysa is Nasbin status, so therefore it's going to be Khabru Laysa. Alhamdulillah. So with that, I will end the session. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Stop.